In this video what we're going to be doing is pulling Jeff's R380 apart. It's the one that we power washed and sandblasted a few days ago. We're going to have a look inside it to see what parts we need to make it better again, because it was okay before, he said, but he wanted me to go through it. I think we're in for a few surprises, and nice surprises too. As I get older. So it's just a 56A suffix Gearbox, nothing spectacular. I'm only going to film this on one camera, but I might just move this one back a little bit. Right, is that a bit better? So what we're going to do is just simply pull it to bits. Now I did sandblast it, and I drained the oil off it, but that doesn't guarantee there's not going to be any oil spillages. So first of all, we're going to take the top cover off. Now I sandblast them like this because you know, it gets all the dirt, and all the heads of these bolts are nice to get off. They're not caked in rust, which is a bonus. Right, let's see if this top cover will come off. Should do. See, we're not too bothered about getting dust and dirt inside because we're going to clean it up anyway. Where's the world famous dismantling tool? Here. There we go. Ooh. Well, that's not too bad. Looks nice and clean. I don't think... Jeff said there wasn't much wrong with this box. Well, I'm sort of keen to agree with him. There doesn't seem to be much wrong with it at all at first. You know, looking at it, it seems to be alright. So that's that out of the way. I'm going to take the collar off the end while I still can, and I'm going to take off the reverse switch so we don't damage it. And then we can get around to we'll just pull it to bits. We're not going to do anything sort of overly fancy. We're doing it like this because we might have to do an order of some parts. We don't know. The transfer box turned out to be okay. So the transfer box just needed some seals, really. Don't need anything really super fancy. Right. Oops. Desperately running out of space again. That's the tight one. Well, we don't need a new ring, that's good. Check all these switches out because invariably they seem to fail quite often, these switches. I've got drawers full of them. I keep them for timing plugs for 300 TDIs and 200 TDIs. It's the same thread, but you see these things here. Keep them. You never know. Right. Next thing is to get this into neutral. Taking our... can I see? I've done these so many times now. You should be able to do them yourself. We need a socket to get the fork off, and it's not that one. That's the little nut off there, so this fork will come off. Good. Next thing we need to do is take off all these bolts around here. We're going to get oil everywhere, so this is why it's only just going to be a rough strip round to see what it's like. We'll put it back together properly, I promise. So now, I don't know how many kilometres are on this box. Didn't mention it. I think Jeff's coming down on Thursday to strip his engine down. Again, this is why that sandblasting is really important, because if they're all caked up with rust, they're really tricky to get off. They're a bugger to get off. Like that one. Spoke too soon, didn't I? Oh, I might as well get that one off while we're there, because I can see that one. Right at the very top, that lock plate. Now to get that out, we need a screwdriver. Twist it, pop it up. Bit of sand in there, it's not too bad. Keep that with that. Yeah. Oh yes, we were trying to get that bolt out of the bottom. Oh dear me. This could be a trouble. Yeah, you see, this side must. Ah, yeah, this side was next to the transfer case, so I didn't get it cleaned up very well. Hopefully it will come out. Long extension bars have a tendency to twist, therefore it makes it difficult for you to get the bolt out. Am I going to get that in? See the difference? Same jaw, same power. Right, that's that out. This is where we should get a flurry of excitement. Splitting this casing. Yeah, they should have put a little prying spot on these when they were doing them, but obviously they didn't, but it's coming loose, you can hear it. What was that fell out? So it fell out there. Oops, what was that fell out? That didn't sound good, did it? Right. The fork off. I did say fork off. And we shall put that little screw. We'll put that little grub screw back in there so we don't lose it. What made that tinkering noise? The little tinker. No, the rings have dropped off, that's all. I'm getting all excited there. This has got the original oil feed ring. I ain't going to replace that. In fact, everything's looking lovely. Yeah, things look good there. So what we're going to do is take the bearings out, take the oil pump out, take any bits off there, and we're going to finish cleaning this in the wet bead blaster. And then that's good to go. So that doesn't need anything spending on it. Now let's have a look at the filter. Really good condition, look at that. Even though the oil was all dirty, we're not seeing any bits and pieces, so that can go through the ultrasonic clean there, that'll be good. Use that again. Right, so we're back on, we're onto this old thing here. So we've got to get all these worry bits off. So I'm going to get another box. It's one of those cases of so far, so good. So we need to take this collar off now. This is again where this Land Rover tool really comes in handy. Again, the bearings look nice, the races look good. Next we're going to get that ring off there. That's sometimes a bit of a tricky one to get on. So I'm going to turn this towards me. What I'm going to do is, I'll do it towards you. Wait a minute, I'll button these things up. Don't want to look scruffy on video, do I? 2 pry bars. Oops. And see if we can pull that ring off. That didn't hurt, did it? That's good. Now, the next bit we've got to get off. If you can see just under here, I can't quite reach my camera for zooming in on this. We've got to get that stalk off there. Now that stalk is the original. I can tell it's the original. So therefore, I don't think this box has had anybody into it before. So I'll get a little chisel. I'm going to have to rearrange my bench. It's slowly crept over towards the wall and I can't keep walking into it. Just like Joe Boxers, we've just got lucky, I suppose. Now I need a bit of a rag and a socket. Right, so we're going to go that way. Pull that socket into there. Loosen it off. Pull that nut off. No tears. That's good. Yeah, I'm pleased I've opened these boxes up before and just sort of all loads of teeth came out. Take that off, that's a geary spinny thing. And then we can take this bit off. Now we've got to take all this assembly off somehow and keep it together. What are the synchros like? They're a bit thin. Yeah, they could be replaced. The split bearing comes off. Put in the box. Next thing we've got to do is take off this circlip just here. And then all that was a bit naughty, wasn't it? Put that in the bin. Right, with all that fun of the fair done, now we can get back to the stripping it down. So here we go. So we've got to get this bit's important here, where we rotate this, because we want to get that out and use our handy dandy circlip pliers. So what's it there? So now that piece will come off. It'll come off together. Now one thing to check, sometimes this burrs over here where the grub screw had gone through, so we're going to try and keep all that tight together and push that off. You know, I should write a book on these, because the bloody thing, that's what it's done. Doesn't take much. But when that little tapered grub screw goes in, it opens this out a little bit and makes it kind of interesting to get to bits. Bearing, sleeve, come on, and don't forget a little spacer, very important. All the teeth and things like this are looking super too so far. Super duper. We'll take that bit off, we don't need that. That's that done. Yeah, there's a bit of play in the shafts. I think it just wants a good shimming up. Now, a little thing I might have mentioned before. There's a needle roller in here, and I never really replace it if it feels good. Even, you know, just for the sake of changing it. Why? Because this steel pin is pressed into this cast iron housing, and if you make a mistake or you get it wrong and you press it in wrong, the housing's scrap because it'll, well, you'd have to do some machining to put a sleeve into it, because it's just a press fit. There's nothing else holds it in, so just be wary of that. So the next thing, got to take out our old friend up here, this little grub screw. That's a Torx, I do believe. Now, like I say, we're not bothering about dust at this moment because we're going to clear it out, but let's clear the dust. And lo, we have a Torx. Him out. Next, we've got to get the spring out. My Allen keys have been used so many times they sort of get magnetised now. So that's that out, and now if we can get the ball out, it'll be even better. Bye-bye! Excelente! Now we can take this piece out of here, these 10mm off here, and that will allow us to split our casing. And then we'll see exactly what parts we need. I know I should put it on my frame to split it down, but in this instance I'm not going to bother because it's just a quick look, see what we need. Oops. So what are we going to find? Bench is all covered in sand now. This might be a quicker job than I thought. There we go. It bleeds. This is what's called controlled demolition. But we've got the bits out that we need. Now, first of all, this is going to fall out, and then just to save things, I'm going to put my hose clip around this setup here. Yeah, I'll show you. Oh, look here. This is typical when you take a gearbox out. So you get all that fairy dust on there. It's not really all that much to get excited about. See it all the time. It's just bits of gears and stuff. He says calmly, we're doing like this, so it doesn't have a like I say, all continuously falls to bits. Like when you put it back together again, we'll put it back together on the bench. on its stand. This will just keep it in place. Throw these over next door's fence. So he's been tidied up. Get his finger out because he's going to get dirty again. You can see why I use paper towel rather than sort of rags. The reason why we're doing it now like this is very shortly, when we take that cluster off there, we're going to lose the secondary spring and ball, so we're just going to line that casing up. That pin has to go through a little slot here, and in any second now it's going to ping across the floor in a controlled ping. I've got my hand near the hole, so it didn't. There it is. Quite lucky it didn't ping out. Whoop. I get very little trouble from the detents in them. So that's good. The bearing races look fantastic. All we've got to do now is inspect everything, and from inspecting these from our last R380, these look spectacular. Where the fork goes, it's very, very tight. Pleased with that. So I'm not going to strip this down any further until I think it would be wise to get a set of synchro rings for sure. Oh, this is interesting. You can see why I put the hose clip on, because if any of you have done this before, it'll go flying into 1,000 pieces. Look at the flaky stuff inside here. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see it. It's like burnt on. Might put the flashlight on. Can you see all that burnt oil? It's all around there. That's why the oil was dark and dirty. So we're going to take off the end cover. Oh, we'll try and get that dowel out there. We'll take off the end cover. Because we're going to replace the oil seal anyway, you might as well do while you're here. Yeah, I was just mentioning in a video the other day about people get obsessed with changing bearings, but these are really, really nice. We'll see what Jeff says. He might want just a full rebuild kit on it, I don't know. Yeah. So first of all, we're going to put this case in and the back plate here in the parts washer to wash it all out. And then a quick sandblast on the outside, and that's it. Should be alright. Hope you like that. See you later.